Does anyone see an increase in heartburn, reflux symptoms when on Qenda? Um, yeah, like I said, a few people I've spoken to, I've had this issue, and what I've found is basically the short of it is they're having the Qenda too close to the time when they're having their food, or they're having the Qenda and then drinking like a cup of tea or water afterwards. Basically, when you're having the Qenda, you want to wait 30 minutes, well, 25 to 30 minutes after having the Qenda before you have your food. Um, like if you're in a real rush, you can do it in like 15 minutes. But basically, when we're talking about acid reflux, we need to understand why that happens in the body. And what I see the main cause of acid reflux is when people eat food, the food's obviously going down into the stomach, and then actually the food takes about an hour and a half to leave the stomach, unless it's like a fruit and it can take half an hour to 45 minutes. But if you've got a mixture of carbs, proteins, and fats in a meal, it can take an hour and a half to leave the stomach. And what people normally do when they get an acid reflux, they're actually drinking water after their meals instead of waiting the hour and a half for the food to leave the stomach. And what happens then is if they're drinking water or drinking any fluids after a meal for that hour and a half period while the food's still in the stomach, um, they're actually watering down the digestive enzymes in the stomach, and then the stomach has to compensate with stomach acid, and then when the stomach acid is produced, that's when you end up with acid reflux. So that's how people get acid reflux. So when we're talking about people getting acid reflux after having Qenda, what I find is they're just trying to rush too much stuff into the morning. Basically, when you're having the Qenda, you want to wake up, hydrate yourself, wait 15 minutes for that hydration to leave your stomach, because water takes 10-15 minutes to leave your stomach, and then have the Qenda. And then once you've had the Qenda, if you was waiting 10-15 minutes after hydrating yourself in the morning, then having the Qenda, and you're still getting acid reflux, just wait for the Qenda to leave your stomach before you have your breakfast in the morning. Yeah, and that's what I've seen work with many people. And then, of course, when you've had your breakfast, wait an hour and a half after that before you have your water. So it sounds quite complicated, but basically, you just don't want to water down when any digestion's going on in your stomach. So obviously, some people have the Qenda Ultimate Fibre. They wake up first thing in the morning, and instead of hydrating themselves, they just find it easier just to drink the Qenda first thing in the morning, and then they can hydrate themselves after, which is absolutely fine. But yeah, like I said, the main cause of acid reflux is when people are hydrating when they have food in the stomach. And that food could be Qenda, which takes about half an hour to leave the stomach, or that food could be actually food, which takes about an hour and a half to leave the stomach, depending on the meal size and the mix of carbs and proteins and fats, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you're having water or tea or anything before you have your Qenda in the morning, wait 15 minutes after you've consumed that drink before you have the Qenda. And then after you've had the Qenda, wait half an hour before you have your meal. And I'm pretty sure that'll stop the acid reflux. If not, let us know and we can dig a little bit deeper into it. It could be possible that you've got some infections in the stomach or in the esophagus, and obviously the Qenda's dealing with that. But that could be unlikely. Depends what you've got going on. If you had stomach ulcers, if you had acid reflux before. But like I said, it's more just making sure that you're not mixing liquid with your food. And then whether your food is Qenda or food, don't mix liquid with it, and allow that time for the food or Qenda to leave your stomach before you either have food or liquid again, and that should stop the acid reflux. I know that because I suffered with acid reflux for many years. Another thing that instantly gives me acid reflux is if I ever drink tap water by accident. I think something's filtered water. It looks like it's in a filtered water bottle when you get it in a hotel or something, and then it tastes like tap water. That seems to give me acid reflux straight away. So yeah, tap water always gave me acid reflux. And then the other thing was mixing foods with liquids. See, we've got a comment.